What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Path of the Network Marketer. Well, actually, welcome to the Path of the Network Marketer. For those of you who are first time listeners, I just always assume that everybody who's listening is a repeat listener, and this show is already massively, massively successful, even though we're only 5 episodes in. Day 5, episode 5, guys. So thank you for tuning in and joining me on this wonderful adventure. I am actually back home after a long day's drive from Georgia. And it's nice to be back. It's nice to be back. I'm actually sitting on my porch. It is evening. Yeah, you guys can maybe hear the crickets in the background. And my home situation, even though we just came back from an amazing vacation at Walt Disney World and, one of our most favorite cities, Savannah, Georgia, I still also love very much being home. I live in a pretty unique situation. Well, I guess unique to my contemporaries and most people that I know personally, and in my circle. I live on a mountain in western North Carolina, beautiful, beautiful, untouched and raw North Carolina mountains, in a very small and humble log cabin. And the thing with the log cabin is it's a wraparound porch, so we have a porch all around the house, and I just love sitting out here any time of day, really. And now that it's evening, I get to sit out here and share some of these amazing sounds, these background noises of the crickets and the animals, as the night crew come in, right? The night crew. It's a different set of sounds in the day as it is in the night. So that's kind of, yeah. Well, I'll actually talk more about that in this episode. Because today's topic, what I wanted to talk about was network marketing success and what that looks like, right? Like answering that question, what does network marketing success look like? Because for me, I think it was for so long at least, it seemed to be a very, very specific picture. Now, before I get into all of that, I do want to let you guys know that the last handful of episodes have been longer than I typically want this show to be. And just because, I wanted to share my story with you guys without it taking, the first 10 episodes of this podcast, right? So, from here on forward, they're going to be anywhere from the 5 to 10 minute range. So I appreciate you guys indulging me in allowing me to share my story, because I think that's a big part of it, right? I want you guys to know who I am and kind of my background as a network marketer, and where I came from in that regard, and my history, so that we know what things are what you guys know what to expect moving forward and what to expect from me. So yeah, like I said, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and that's kind of what our framework is going to be moving forward. Now, for today, as I mentioned, I wanted to talk about network marketing success before I get into like tactics and strategy and online marketing and social media marketing. One of the biggest things I think, what success looks like in this profession. I think for me, coming up in the industry, it was a pretty specific and narrow picture, at least in the circles that I ran with, and the companies that I was exposed to. It was very, very kind of, well, and it's no judgment, but it was a very again specific picture, right? Like modern success, material success, and I love all of that. But I like in this episode, what I want to communicate is that that's not necessarily what it has to be, right? Whatever level of success in network marketing you've been exposed to, whatever that picture looks like, I understand that that's maybe just a template, or even, well, actually, no. Let me backtrack on that. Let me rewind. Whatever you've seen as typical, quote unquote, typical success in network marketing, it's just one or a handful of versions, right? And whatever success is for you, or whatever success means to you, it can mean anything, right? It can be anything. I described my home situation in brief at the beginning of this episode, because, well, my version of network marketing success, what that looks like on the surface, doesn't look like what you might imagine, or what typical success stories in network marketing look like, right. Again, I live in a very, very humble log cabin, in the middle of nowhere, very isolated, very remote location in North Carolina, backwoods North Carolina mountains. And I purposefully chose this, right? Like it wasn't something that a circumstance that I ended up with, or I got stuck with, or I had no choice in. I chose to move here actually after having lived about a year and a half in Las Vegas. I had hit massive success in my company. My organization was thriving, and I spent some time in Vegas just to try something different. And I realized, okay, as great as Vegas is, I need a little bit something more low key that aligns with just kind of my own sensibilities and who I am. And so, the mountains called to me, right? Like they always have. Mountains, the North Carolina mountains in particular, were a location, an area that I visited on a very, very regular basis, at least once a year. And so, like when the time came to make a change and make a decision as far as like, okay, like what's something that I can foresee myself in a little bit more of a permanent situation. The North Carolina mountains was where I was at, and on top of that, not just in the mountains or in a city, but in the mountains, in the thick of the wilderness, right? So that's what it means to me. And again, it's not for everybody. Our internet's super slow. It takes an hour to drive into civilization to kind of restock our refrigerator and get food. So it's definitely has its own challenges, but again, it's my ideal. And this is the ideal that network marketing has afforded me. I'm also, cultivating and establishing a vineyard on the property, establishing a peach grove as well, because these are kind of the things that I love to do, right? Right. Again, it's my version of success. It's the life that this profession, this amazing profession, has afforded me. And so for you, it can be anything, right? We always talk about your why and your vision, and cutting out photos from magazines of things that you might enjoy and might love, and like really I encourage you to kind of just really dig deep when you do this, and understand that vision and that purpose and that why, the only person that it has to move is you. Right. And so that vision should be unique. It should be very specific. It shouldn't necessarily look like everybody else's, which, if it does, that's okay too. But again, it's not for anybody else except you. Right. Network marketing success should only look like how you want it to look like. Right. And I say this because then that's what's going to move you. Right. That's what's going to move you. So that's my message for today. The success in network marketing doesn't have to look like any one specific thing, except to only one specific person, and that is you. So that's it. That's my message. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I appreciate you guys again going with me on this journey. We'll catch you tomorrow with a fresh new episode. Until then, everybody take care, be well, be safe, and may the force be with you.